Whenever you put anything into your mouth, you need to ask yourself one question. Did my ancestors eat this? When I look at a bag of Doritos, I see the colorful wrapping, I see the strange, otherworldly flavors inside the bag. When I turn around and see that funny little thing called the ingredients list, so small, so unnoticeable by the masses, I see words that I quite frankly don't know the definition of. I don't know what xanthan gum is off the top of my head. I don't know what high fructose corn syrup actually is. I could say, oh, it's bad for me. I could say, oh, it's this awful concentrated amalgamation that humanity made. But maybe at some point I was into really deep into the nutrition and why all this stuff was bad for me, right? But now I'm not. Now my focus lies elsewhere. See, we can remember all these things, but we have our own lives to live, right? I can go through a hyper nutritious stint and figure out, oh, what does this mean? What would this do to me? Is McDonald's really serving XYZ? But a big excuse a lot of people have in this country is, I just don't have time. It's just all the nonsense they put in our food, all the poison, is just too much for me to hunker down and research. Well, I'm here to give you a solution. Those of you who have any knowledge of the past, any vision, any idea, or educated guesses about what your ancestors used to eat will really benefit from this. What you want to do is you want to take a look at your food, all right? You want to take a look at what you put on your plate. For example, today I had a nice steak and some sharp cheddar cheese, extra sharp. And I ask myself, is this something I could see in the feast halls of ancient Greece? Is this something I could see on a dinner table in an Italian home or even on the plains of Africa? See, some people go extreme with it and say, oh, you're not even supposed to cook your meat, but those people are schizoposters, to be quite honest with you. They're not really to be trusted. There's obviously a lot of, raw milk is based and all that. And there's plenty to say about how terrible the dairy industry is. But I'll tell you right now, that's going in that direction that everyone has an excuse for. Oh, too much research. I can't think every two bites I take of something. I don't want to track it. I don't want to overthink it. It causes me way too much stress. This is the solution. This is for people who have just looked at nutrition like it was some club that you're not invited to, members only. Do you see yourself in that role? Do you see yourself like I saw myself years and years ago? Then take this bit of advice. Look at the food you're eating and ask yourself, are my ancestors eating this food? If I showed this Snickers bar to my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, would he know what it is? Would he understand what's in it? There's obviously a certain level of improvements humanity made, advancements, the Industrial Revolution, that had really dire consequences for our health. We pollute the skies, we fill the ground with pesticides and microplastics. Not a single human on this earth is free of microplastics, by the way. The best thing you could possibly do is what you're capable of right now, and that's looking at your food. You're not stupid, are you? You're not dumb. You don't have to really extra second guess that a potato is something that your ancestors would have eaten. Potatoes is what people lived off of. Bread, meats. A lot of people rag on vegetables, but if you're eating Snickers and drinking energy drinks and doing all this bullshit, vegetables are the way. It's a step in the right direction. And that's where we need to take you, okay? You want to be extra serious about it? Fine. Go on your carnivores, go on your hyper knowledgeable diets. Meat is incredible. I'm not gonna lie and say, oh, it has no benefits and it's only good to cause cancer. Meat has plenty of benefits, and there's a reason that only nobility had meat a long time ago. That's because it's the best bang for your buck, quite frankly. Only thing I can think of that isn't meat that has more protein than beef would be chia seeds. Check those out. Those are really nice. But it all comes back to that question, right? Read the ingredient list. Would your ancestors know what half of this shit is? And that's why one ingredient foods are so great, right? What's the one ingredient in potatoes? It's potato. What's the one ingredient in steak? It's steak. What's the one ingredient in chicken? It's chicken. You take a look at it, you glorify it almost. You take it in that direction of going back to your roots, right? Because if you're not autistic enough to really dive deep and go, okay, what is the exact micro and macronutrients of my food? You need a framework like that. You need an emotional incentive to come to the light side, because there's more than likely a very emotional incentive to come to the dark side, to get all the Twinkies and the Snickers and the Skittles, the heroin, the whatever. There's more than likely an emotional incentive. So having an emotional incentive on your side, I mean, it's a much better situation than you're in, let's just be frank. Look at your food and think to yourself, would my ancestors eat this? Capiche? All right.